Previously on Gearz.
Now, unfortunately, we've got to bring up something a little bit horrible. And, sure, this is such a difficult one to talk about. Yesterday, there was a 100-car pileup in the UK. I don't know if you heard about this. Over some specific bridge. 100 cars involved in an accident. There wasn't one fatality, fortunately for these people. Apparently conditions were very treacherous. It's a bridge which has a tremendous amount of fog. And unfortunately, in those kind of conditions, just one thing happens after another. It's like a domino effect. And 100 cars involved. But fortunately, there were some minor injuries, but no fatalities. Then yesterday, I think it was last night, in Pinetown, at this place called Fields Hill. Now, I don't know this area, but it seems as though the people who live within the area and the comments that I've read on various different forums and websites, people have been saying for a very long time that trucks should not be allowed to be on this road. I can only assume, and I say this very cautiously because I can only assume that where the specific accident happened seems to be problematic for heavy duty vehicles and specifically trucks. By pure chance, there was somebody, can you believe it, who was driving and has a camera mounted in his car and films everything that's going on in the road, which I think is quite cool, because you just don't know when something could happen, and you might have some evidence for it. It is available on the internet, on YouTube. It's Pinetown accident live footage. Now, this is the scary thing. I've watched the footage, and it's up to you to go and watch the footage. It's up to you to do it. Basically, what happened, a whole bunch of cars come to a traffic light. The traffic light is red. The traffic light turns to green. The cars who are proceeding in the forward direction, basically if I'm looking from my vehicle, I'm going forwards, start moving. And from the right-hand side, this massive truck comes through and wipes out 3 or 4 cars and then just carries on in carnage. 27 people were killed yesterday in this most horrific and desperately unlucky kind of accident. Now, I don't know if there was brake failure. I don't know if there's driver fatigue. I don't know if there's a technical issue with the truck. All I'm saying is what I've read, that there are people who are stressing that this is not a road the truck should be in. And if they've been saying this for a while and no action has been taken, then one really has to question the Department of Transport in the Pinetown, KwaZulu-Natal area. On a normal road where people are just making their way home, for a 30, 40-ton truck to come through a traffic light and kill 27 people is completely unacceptable. It is really something that should not happen. And let's be honest, accidents do happen. We do understand it. But this is more like a suburban area. There are buildings and homes nearby. There shouldn't be these kind of cars or trucks on these kind of roads. And action really needs to be taken. I do hope that they look at this very seriously and close off this area to these high weight vehicles as well. It really is incredibly unfortunate that these kind of things happen. And it just, can you only just imagine these innocent people, some of them were in a taxi, others were in a car, just going from the traffic light, probably making their way home. They want to go and see their family, and the next minute they get wiped out, but completely wiped out by either, as I say, I don't know, reckless driving, bad brakes, technical issues, but the most important thing, by a vehicle that should not be on that specific road. I do hope that whoever the authorities are take this very seriously and put in some issues that won't allow this thing to happen. So one can only feel incredibly sad for all of the families and friends who lost loved ones yesterday in something which one has to say was more than likely completely unnecessary and should never have happened.
Weekdays from 12 to 2 p.m. Central African Time.
Beautiful.
Gearz with Sasha Martinengo on balls.co.za.